up, guys? Welcome to the Weekend Zone. I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with Chris Clark and Ty Savage. What's up, guys?
What up? Welcome back.
So we are talking about OBJ to start off with because he came out in an ESPN interview and said this about Eli Manning. Can he still throw it? Yeah, but it's been pretty safe and it's been, cool catching shallow and trying to take it to the house. But I want to go over the top of somebody. And he kind of was, just getting in on Eli for staying in the pocket and not really doing what we see a lot of quarterbacks doing nowadays. What do you guys think about the comments he made? Are they warranted?
My thing is, did he say anything that was wrong? I mean, I guess maybe there's other ways you can handle it, but at the same time, if it's continuing to be this way for what the last, 4 or 5 years where Eli's been making these safe passes and these safe decisions, maybe this is a reality check he might need.
Right.
I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people were, OBJ handled it wrong. I think it's okay. You got to do it like this. It's not like he's saying anything crazy about his character or about Eli. He's just talking about his game and what he would like for him to do. And that's the thing, the pass that made OBJ famous, other than the fact that he made something out of nothing, was a deep throw, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, now we know him more for like the slot and, making something out of nothing kind of things, but it's like, I get it, I understand, I'm not mad at him. I think he got to speak up. Somebody got to speak up.
Ty, what do you think?
For the first time, I agree with him. It's just for as explosive as OBJ can be, I think he was very professional in what he said, and it was very light. And also, we don't know what's happening in that locker room. Like, maybe he has tried to voice his opinion and hasn't been able to.
Right.
And so now he's just really putting it out there that stuff needs to change. And guess what? It does. They're 1-4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I hope they stay like that. I hope nothing changes.
Right.
As a Cowboys fan, I hope they stay like that.
Right.
But, I mean, if you look at Eli this season, he's out of 35 quarterbacks, he's 32, and these are quarterbacks that have completed over 80 passes this season. So that's why I said 35. I know there's only 32 teams. But out of 35 quarterbacks that have completed over 80 passes, he's ranked number 32. He's supposed to be a starting quarterback, and he has literally weapons to throw to, and he's not making, what's the point of having that if you're not going to make, if you don't have a quarterback that wants to throw, It was warranted to say that.
It was needed.
I think it's interesting that people are trying to make an issue out of it because people weren't trying to make an issue when people wanted to talk about Le'Veon Bell's contract, which I don't think people should talk about other guys' money, but it's like, this is what we're doing on the field. Why can't I say something about it? And he obviously didn't go the Jimmy Butler way of doing it, which is good. He said it in a respectable way, and I personally don't think it's going to affect the play on the field, but what do you guys think about that?
No, I don't think so, because I think, like Ty said, again, agreeing.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. I think this is something that was definitely addressed before what we heard. I think it's been said in the locker room, because that's the kind of personality that all those guys are. Not even just Odell, Sterling Shepard, all those guys are vocal guys. So I feel like this has definitely been addressed beforehand, and now we're just hearing it for the first time. So I don't think it's going to affect him. I just think now it's going to light even more of a fire on his butt. I think we're going to see a lot of interceptions, but a lot more yardage out of Eli this coming week. But I don't think it's going to.
Wait, did you guys hear what Lil Wayne said, though?
Yeah.
Lil Wayne was like, maybe you should be listening to my music. What did Eli say about Lil Wayne that offended him? Didn't he say something? And Lil Wayne was like, well, I'm a fan of him.
I think he just admit that he doesn't listen to Lil Wayne. I think that's all.
That's what it was. He admitted he didn't listen. And then Lil Wayne was basically like,
well,
you
should.
It's
worked for Drew Brees.
It sure does. Because he played in the Noya. You got to listen to Lil Wayne.
Did you see Drew Brees' little dancing in the locker room after the game?
Of course I did.
That was so epic.
Congrats, Drew.
Yeah. Let's move on to the guy I just mentioned, Jimmy Butler. Now, he had a different way of approaching things. He's clearly been open about talking about now that he's getting into it with Karl Anthony Towns, which I want to point out, we have been talking about this all summer on the Fumble, and you guys always say we're doing clickbait and we're just making stuff up. Remember that. Keep that same energy when we're talking about it right now, okay? And then he recently came out and literally told the general manager, basically, you cannot win without me. I'm the greatest. What do you guys think? Is he going to end up staying in Minnesota now because of this, or is this going to push the Timberwolves to trade him?
I don't think the Timberwolves ever wanted to trade him. I think they were hoping it would all just kind of die down, whatever tension was going on. So that's why, because they've received some good offers. They're like, oh, no, not this, not that. They've always had an issue. So I think they were hoping that his tension with Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns would somehow die down. They never wanted to get rid of him. He hasn't been playing basketball, and he's gone crazy. And he said that in an interview. He admitted to everything he said. It's all true, so we were right.
It was passion. He didn't say he's crazy. He said it was
No,
passion.
he didn't. That was my descriptive word, but passionate. And so I think, though, at this point, he had a breaking point, and I think everyone is starting to see that it is on the Timberwolves at this point. It's not on him. And I think they're either going to have to fix the tension, which they should have done a long time ago and been proactive instead of playing this trading game, or they're going to have to trade him because the tension is just like they're not going to be able to coexist.
I feel like how do you fix the issue though, because the issue here is more like it's not like, oh, you were messing with my baby mama and all this kind of stuff, like now you just need to stop talking to her. It's literally like he feels like the other guys are not putting in effort like he is. So how do you make somebody want to try, you know? Like it's such a weird place and such a frustrating place, I'm sure, for him to be in. 100%. And it's frustrating maybe for the other guys who might think, dude, I am trying. This is me at my best or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if they think that that's their effort and it doesn't match his, you know, like how do you fix that? I mean, we saw this for years and years with DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul. They would always get into it because Chris Paul felt like DeAndre Jordan was being lazy and wasn't practicing his free throws in offseason and all this kind of stuff. It literally killed my Clippers. You know what I mean? Like that tension ended up going out into the court, and my Clippers were never able to get out of the second round. So somebody has to get traded, period.
See, I feel like, I don't think someone has to be traded. I feel like we've seen this before from your guy. Kobe used to do this crap all the time, especially with the bad teams.
I feel attacked.
No, I'm not attacking. I'm just saying, like, this is the kind of stuff Kobe used to do to light fires under some of the Rudy Poot, in the words of LeVar Ball, players that he's had in the past on those Laker teams. This is the kind of stuff he would do. He would literally challenge them, and maybe he wouldn't go as far as like go to Phil and say stuff to Mitch and all that stuff. But he
probably did.
I'm sure he probably did.
He also didn't threaten to try and force the Lakers to trade him.
But with all due respect, Jimmy Butler is not Kobe Bryant. So where other players might want to listen to a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan or a LeBron James, those guys aren't like Jimmy Butler hasn't gotten that respect from players enough to where players are like, oh, well, he's telling me to do this, so maybe I should try. I don't think he's there.
But he is the leader of that team.
Of that team, yes. But he's not.
Sense is what I'm talking
he's not
about.
in an instance, he's not one of the greatest. So I feel like those guys probably feel like they don't need to listen to him.
I agree. Like he's not on.
So
Kobe
they
Bryant,
do need
LeBron,
to trade somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if this doesn't work and this doesn't light a fire under anybody's butt, and they're just thinking that, oh man, Jimmy crazy. Like if that's what they're getting from all of this.
What was that again?
I think then the situation has to end with him going somewhere else because that team is just a train wreck in the first place.
True. Always.
Speaking of train wrecks, let's talk about.
Oh yeah.
UFC 229 happened this past weekend. There was a lot of fighting action after the tap out in the fourth round. Do you guys think Dana White should have suspended both Khabib and Conor?
Why would you suspend Conor for that fight? He did nothing wrong during that fight.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And even after.
Right.
He didn't do anything
wrong. He got attacked, so he fought back.
Yeah.
Like Conor could have done so much worse, knowing Conor, and I agree. I don't think Conor
didn't even press charges when the cops came to arrest the guys who busted his head in the cage, and they had the guys, and Conor refused to press charges, so they let the guys go. So he shouldn't be suspended for anything.
100%.
Yeah.
But even Khabib, I mean, I guess there's enough to argue that he should be suspended.
Who?
Khabib. But at the same time, like I just feel like this is the fighting world. I get it. Like he could have hurt somebody. You know, there's people.
Well, yeah. Imagine
I understand all that.
I've sat like ringside at fights before. I could, if I would have experienced it happening, I would have literally had like PTSD or something. Like I would have literally never gone to a fight again in my life. And so is Dana White, like, he could be upset that, like, okay, now people aren't going to want to spend money to sit in these seats because they're scared somebody's going to freaking jump out and attack them. But then also on the flip side, now we could, if we do see this rematch, which that's going to be my next question to you guys, if you think it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. If we see this rematch, I think people are going to pay the money to see this, and it's going to take the UFC to another level just because of how this first one went down, or this last one went down. So rematch talks. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, of course I want to see it, but do we need to see it? Because I feel like poor Conor got destroyed so bad. I don't know what can really change in the next one. Of course I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it, but I don't know if there's going to be much of a difference. There's a lot of fire to get people to view it again, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, basically how Conor lost this fight was exactly how Nate Diaz took him down the first time. He got choked out because he keeps getting on the floor, and his game is not good on the floor, and he gets choked out. Everyone goes for his weakness. I bet you Khabib knew he wanted to take him out exactly how Nate did. So, but then Conor came back and he did win the next fight. So I would definitely watch it, but that's the thing about Conor McGregor. You're going to watch any fight he's part 100%. Of, even if he's been losing. Yeah. That's the thing. So yeah, I'll watch that. But to be honest, I would rather see him have the trilogy with Nate.
Let's shout out our honorable mentions. Let's start with you, Ty.
My honorable mention is going to go to this dog who lobs up his teammate and owner and then daps him up.
She's answering him.
Oh! Let's go! Well, all right, so my honorable mention. All right, the debate has been going crazy with this whole James Harden move. Now, James Harden has made some crazy moves in the past that could arguably be travels, but I am going against the grain on this one. This was not a travel. Look at the footage. My man takes one step off your left foot and plants both feet. Though the thing that's throwing everybody off is he does a little behind the back thing. That is not a travel.
And it was a big kind of jump.
It's a big jump. He got hops. I mean, you see his Euro steps. It's not a travel.
I didn't think it was a travel either.
Just because you have the same beard as him doesn't mean that you have to be him when it comes to
we're brothers.
You just want to understand.
We're happy and we're singing.
And we're color. You understand. Wasn't travel. Hashtag James did not travel. The other one, we're not talking about that one. That was travel. But that
you mean
one.
All the other ones?
Every single other one, yeah.
I agree.
Not a travel. Not a travel.
Well, mine's going to go to my Dallas Cowboys. So apparently on change.org, there is a new petition out. It has nothing to do with anything that really matters in life except for the fact that Cowboys are sick and tired of Jason Garrett. If you guys watched last week's game, we were in overtime. It was 4th and 1. We decided to punt it instead of go for it, and we ended up losing the game. This is what the petition says. Right now it only has 108 signatures, okay? But it says, Jason Garrett has been coaching this team to utter mediocrity since 2010. It's time for Jerry's yes man to hit the bricks. How do we get Jerry's attention? His wallet, of course. Let's all agree to avoid purchasing any and all Dallas Cowboys merchandise until Jason Garrett, they spelled his name incorrectly, and his punt on 4th and 1 tendencies are far from the Cowboy.
This is why I love NFL fans, though. This stuff right here.
It's so perfect.
This stuff right here.
Misspelling. That's hilarious.
And the misspelling is just a sign of disrespect.
Right. Like, really, you're going to spell his name with one T instead of 2?
You know what?
So disrespectful. But, like, honestly, either way, like, and I want to say first, the Cowboys have been very aggressive this year. We have gone for it it's been like a 4th and 4, and we've gone for it so many times already this season. And I'm like, oh wow, this is like really cool to see. So in that one instance when they did not go for it, I am not mad at it, because I think if it would have been the other way around and they did go for it and not get it, and then they end up being in like that spot to just go, you know what I mean? So it's just like, what are you gonna do? As an owner, he should not have questioned it. As a team, they don't question it. And what Jason Garrett was thinking was, yes, defensively in the second half of the game, they were killing it, you know? So he just kind of thought they were going to be able to stop them and give them a little bit more room to do it than if they wouldn't have got that 4th and 1.
It also wasn't a good look when he came out and said what he said about, I don't know, to me that's not a good sign when your owner comes out and says something about the coach.
And I do agree, though, that Jason Garrett has been like the yes man, you know, 100%. And that's why they've kept him. And that's why we lost guys like Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells and stuff, because they didn't want to just agree with everything that, Jerry Jones had to say, and Jason Garrett does. So maybe this is the first step of Jason Garrett stepping out and doing something that,
Be your own
shook
man.
it up a little bit. I like it.
We'll see.
Be your own man.
But right now we only have 108 signatures, so I don't think it's going to get
Might blow up after this.
we want to know about what you think about what we talked about today. Let us know in the comments below. I'm Britt Johnson, Chris Clark, Ty Savage. We will see you guys next weekend. Bye.